Carl always talked about, I can out hand run door y'all because I can walk better than you. You're younger, you're faster, you're stronger, but I can walk better. And eventually I got to go, if he keeps saying that, maybe there's something there that I should try and figure out. And he had, well, we do a drop step. I don't know that I ever heard him explain how to do it, but he always talked about a drop step. And when I learned to walk, there was 2 rules. Once you start, you shouldn't stop until you get to the end. But your weight needs to be 50-50. This took a lot of work on my part to figure out what this meant. Now you got to throw the drop step in here, and a lot of y'all, especially you judo guys, do it. The way I explain it, if you keep leaning forward long enough, you got to throw that leg out there. Most people to move are going to go to get the weight off that foot and take a step. Well, we know if you do that to us, we're going to go, holy moly, let me go over here with you. So if you just take a drop step, you don't see the shoulders move, they're there. Now, okay, so I started incorporating that. Then I had to go, how do I fit, my weight's 50-50, but I keep moving? You know, and I'm going, well, this doesn't make sense. And then I finally realized if I take that drop step and put that drop step in there, when I bring this leg up, I'm 50-50, but if I keep my center moving and rolling, I can keep those 2 rules and I can apply the principle of a moving meditation and I don't ever stop. Now, that's a lot harder to do than what I just described, because once you get out here, you got to have your center come up and roll back, and then you got to do a drop step back into the back part of it. You know, it's not too bad to do this one, but do this one. You know, and keep the thing moving and rolling. Is this kind of?
Yeah. It gives you a lot to practice, I'm sure.
Well, it is. Now, because when you do some of these, and I know if you watch Tamiki, he does 4 of these. And I've often said, you know, why are we going out here? You know, why not just do 4 there? And I found out Tamiki does 4 there. Well, if you're going out here, I'd stick the hand out there and I go catch up with the hand. But when you get here, there is a roll to come back. When you go here, there is a roll to go out and to come back. It's all, and I called Carl one time and we were talking about the circles, and I said, well, you know, I'm looking at this and it feels like there's circles all over this place. And he stopped on the phone for a minute, and then all of a sudden he came back and went, yeah, there's circles everywhere with it. So I knew I was on the right, at least on the right track. But I've worked on that walk for 20, 25 years, you know. And when I first did it, I did stuff like this so that I could, it's just like if we do the first release, we're doing this so that you can eventually learn this one, you know. And it finally got from, you know, so my center doesn't wave as much. But that drop step and keeping the walking going and flowing with the rolls. And if you, well, all y'all were here, Bob, Moose, and Danny, all 3 talked about the center moving. It don't matter if it's Aikido or Judo. You stop, you're probably dead in the water.
Yeah. Danny talks about that, about what Danny does, he does that rolling, but he doesn't, he's going in a circle, and if you can't figure out what he's doing, he takes your balance and you don't even know it.
Anybody got any questions? Then I'll, if y'all want to ask me something later or something.
What is your mental focus then?
What is my mental focus?
Well, concentrating just moving your center, or are you concentrating on
When I first started it, yes. That's where I concentrated. I wanted to feel this center roll. And when I get to this one, I might be able to float here, but I take it and roll it in a circle to allow it to go into that drop step. So you got to play with it at different places, but yes, I concentrated on the center for a long, long time.
Because if I'm just standing here like this, and somebody comes in here, then I've got the issue there is what? Am I focused on this, or am I focused on being able to move?
I'll put that in a slightly different thought pattern. If he's going to grab you or push you there, there's energy coming from him, and I'm going to let my center float with his energy. If he pushes on me, you know, he's telling me, it's not any different than he's telling me to go over here. Now that ain't what he's telling me, but watch this. I don't have to go there. All I got to do is follow him there. Same thing, I think that's what you're asking. If he pushes on me in some way, shape, or form, I can't fight him, but I can go with him and do some extra stuff there. Is that?
Yep.
You mentioned that you used a metronome or whatever to keep that AC. Does that help, initially get that rolling? You said you did like 8 beat.
Oh, okay. And some of this stuff is really for y'all to be able to help the new people, because this took us a long time. We were Sondons when we finally figured out what Carl was talking about with the drop step. I'd done a lot of Aikido, and we still couldn't figure out what the drop step was. And we finally, you don't see people walk like this. If you do, get away from them. They're weird. So we count Aikido in 8-beat for the walk. Regular jazz, not progressive, and classical music is done in an 8-beat. And to learn same hand, same foot, I would just move for hours and just kind of go around, and feel it. And this way I could keep my hand in my center and everything. But I would learn where to go and how to go, because that's just not normal. You don't find people doing stuff like this. Only, a bunch of guys like us and is willing to spend some time looking at these type of things.
And gravity dictates that your foot goes out because you're trying to maintain balance. So you have counterbalance. So you always sit hand from your leg. I wish you had. Sync with it. Balance. And to do this is not part of the routine to satisfy the effect of gravity.
Well, you gotta make it part of yourself, and it's
do it so much, like you said, you did it a lot.
I consciously worked on the walk for probably 25 years, somewhere in there, and I can do the count. I don't normally do the count because I'm working on stuff in my head. And if you get this down good enough, you can work on 2 or 3 things. Your center. Am I doing same hand, same foot? Is my hand in my center? There's a bunch of little stuff that you can't practice them too much because they just need to be part of your life. When I go to shut a door nowadays, I will just kind of gradually, the car door, it's on the way shut. Well, I'll help it go a little bit, but I keep that hand in the center and I move with it so that I can allow it. And I'm practicing. We don't get enough practice, just in here. You've got to practice out there for real.
Would you mind adding the idea of being on point to that as far as the timing?
Okay. there's some spots in this that if we're going to do shomenate, you know, I'm actually up waiting to drop. And if you look at the ballet people, they get up on point and kind of drop. Well, if I've dropped and come up, I'm ready to drop again on him. And it's just same thing. It's in a lot of different places, but it gives you a way to have that flow and just feel it, bam, unload on them. And it can be gentle, but it doesn't have to be. You know that you're at the right place for that to unload if you need to. Is that what you were?
And it doesn't stop the
Oh, no. But I can pause longer than you can, you know, waiting on you to get to a place that I'm going to continue. If you're coming at me, you know, I didn't even touch him. He's still there. He's still vulnerable. So if I do it all right, and I think you saw as he was falling back, I took my step. We're following in Aikido. I'm probably in Judo too. You know, he grabs. Now I got to wait for him to want to do something.
That's crazy.
And I will follow what he's telling me to do. And I've done I'll give you another drill. If he grabs me, and I know he's going to try and hit me, if they've got a hold of you, and they're going to do this other side, they've got to give you something over here. And if you practice stuff like this, you know, you'll get the timing, and it doesn't have to do anything besides the hand. That's just enough to disrupt their flow. You judo guys use this a lot. You know, but it's one of those things that, and they always tell me it's worse if I'm talking to people and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Because my subconscious has really got involved. And that's what you're doing. You're programming your subconscious to take this over. Because you can't think, oh, he's going to attack me and go into mode. You got to just go.
This gets into that nervous system where you're communicating with it. Just, yeah.
You're catching me before I'm even thinking about doing it.
Well, I see you wind up and I see the shoulder shift.
Exactly.
But
I mean, I'm
what's
just
going
like
on here,
the edge of
I
it.
think what's going on here is I send a signal to his nervous system and it disrupts his action. See, I'm ahead of you there.
That's all right. But you felt this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm feeling you wind up. The harder he punches, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Well, probably the issue with both Aikido and Judo, you're going to try and take me, push me, pull me, some way, shape, or form. And in my Aikido, if I let you do that, that's not what you want. It may be what you think you want, but it's not what you want. And it really is not good for your side. Because if he grabs, you know, and I go, okay, and he's trying to pull me someplace, all I got to do is go with him. I don't have to try and make him do anything. Y'all that do Aikido, you know there's only three moves, and we've never seen a fourth. You know, because of the way it quantums. And you guys in Judo, when y'all set something up, generally the next one is not good for their side. And it's explosive.
Plan comes together.
And it's not really your plan as much as you've done enough of it that you felt the fit right for that. I asked Felix and John about this to be sure that I had the right thought pattern. And all of y'all have thrown somebody or they've fallen and they're in the air and then they start laughing. You know, and it's because you didn't really try and throw them. They knew that this shouldn't happen, but they're in the air launched. And there's nothing they can do about it. And when you don't feel you did anything, that's the best ones you do.
Everybody's got their own turn.
If you don't know you did it, they darn sure can't know you did it. Any other questions or anything? Thank you.